Welcome back. Now we'll start with the elementary algebra questions. Elementary O1, problem 1. The following questions reinforce the vocabulary for the four basic arithmetic operations. All right. Multiply. Multiply is product. The result of multiplication is product. Divide. The result of division is a quotient. Add. The result of addition is a sum. Subtract. The result of subtraction is a difference. Next question. Replace the letters with whole numbers. So A and B should be whole numbers. So let's look at this. The way you would solve for A is you look at one equality. By the way, this is called proportion. Equation of fractions is a proportion. So you have a proportion here. You're looking at, you want to solve for A and B. So let's go through and write down the proportions. So first is a fraction, 0 over 6. The second is the fraction, A over 8. I'll work with these two fractions first to find out A. The way you approach is cross multiply. When you have equation of ratios or fractions, you can cross multiply across the equation. So A times 6 is 6A. 0 times 8 is 0. Now divide both sides by 6. I want to solve for A. 6A over 6 is equals fraction 0 over 6. Notice I divide this entire equation by 6 to isolate the A. 6 is multiplying A, so the opposite of multiplication is division. Once I do that, these two cancel. Okay, 0 over 6. 0 over anything non-zero is 0. Okay, so let's keep that clear. 0 over anything non-zero is 0. What about 0 over 0? 0 over 0 is undefined. In fact, anything over 0 is undefined. All right. So anyhow, for us, 0 over 6, that is 0. A is 0. All right. You got A equals 0. Now you can use 0 over 8 because A is 0. 0 over 8 equals fraction B over 15. Again, this is equation of fractions, equation of ratios, so that's a proportion. Cross multiply. Because you have an equality, you can cross multiply. 8 times B is 8B equals 0 times 15 is a 0. Now, to solve for B, I need to get rid of that 8. 8 is multiplying B, so the opposite of multiplication is division. Okay, divide both sides by 8. Once that, so that 8 clears, you get B equals, we just saw 0 over anything that is non-zero, answer is 0. All right, so B is also 0. Next problem. Similar question, you have a proportion. Let's go through each of these, right? You have, first I'll go through one proportion at a time. I will look at 3 over 5 equals fraction a over 20. Okay, so I have left everything else aside, just I look at these. So equation of fractions, you can cross multiply. 5 times a equals 3 times 20. 3 times 20. Okay, if you know your multiplication, you will see that this is 60. But even if you don't, you can leave it like this, and then let's try. I want to solve for a. So I need to divide by 5, okay, both sides. Why do I need to divide by 5? Because 5 is multiplying a. Opposite of multiplication is division. All right. Now we can start reducing. 5 reduces 5. They cancel. You have a on the left. What happens here is 5 reduces 20, right? 5 goes in 5 once in 24 times. So if you like, I will write 5 times 1 is 5, and here 20 is 4 times 5. You see? So those two 5's go away. All I'm left with is 3 times 4, 12 over 1. Okay? 5 cancels the 5, right? So I have 12 over 1. That is 12. A is 12. Okay? Now, I will use a to be 12 for my next proportion, right? So you have a fraction 12 over 20, a is 12, equals fraction 15 over b. Again, cross multiply. 12 times b equals 20 times 15. Divide both sides by 12 to isolate b, right? So that's a fraction 12b over 12 equals fraction 20 times 15 over 12. Now we start reducing. 12 reduces 12 entirely, so that's straightforward. But here I need to rewrite a few things to understand what's going on. So, okay, look at 12 and 20. 4 goes in both. So I will rewrite 12 as 4 times 3. 20 is 4 times 5. So 4 cancels. Okay, now what? If you notice, 3 can go in 15. So I'll rewrite 15 as 5 times 3. Now 3 itself is 3 times 1. So when I cancel the 3, only 1 remains downstairs, and I get 25 over 1. All right. Now I will use 25 here and solve for C. Okay, so again cross multiply. You have 25 times C equals 15 times 50. Now we want to divide both sides by 25 to solve for C. So that's a fraction 25C over 25 equals fraction 15 times 50 over 25. Aha, notice all of 25 goes in 50. 25, let me reduce this first here. 25 cancels all of 25, that's a C. So 15 times 50 over 25. So I will rewrite the bottom 25 as 25 times 1 and the top 50 as 25 times 2. Okay, if you write it in this fashion, you notice that 25 reduces. Okay, and I'm left with 15 times 2 over 1. That is a 30. All right, now I'll use that last proportion. Put C equals 30, right? We just solved C equals 30 over 50 equals fraction 45 over D. Now you can cross multiply. 30 times D equals 50 times 45. Okay, now you have a fraction 30D over 30. I want to solve for D, so I'm dividing both sides by 30. So it's a fraction 50 times 45 over 30. I reduce 30s, I get a D equals 15 times 45 over 30. So I would like to start reducing. Notice 50 and 30. So I can write 30 as 3 times 10. So 50 is 5 times 10. So once you notice that the tens can be cancelled. Okay, what else? 3 goes in 45. 45 is nothing but 3 times 15. So 3 is itself 3 times 1. So times 3 cancels times 3. All I'm left with is 5 times 15. That is 75 over 1 is 75. All right. Next problem I'll start in my next video. Until then.